And three, two, one, we are back again, guys. Welcome, Family Divergent. I hope you had the marvelous week. As we spoke about it last week, we have today Scott on the helm. So he's going to talk with us about foraging. Well, he's going to most of the times teach me what it is because it's completely new to me. And I think it's very important for us in this segment to know that there is a lot of things that the planet provides us, and it's forgotten. We didn't learn when we were kids, or even if they tried to teach us something, we were not ready. Probably is that the feeling when I remember my age, my young age. So Scott, I tell us a little bit about your week, and let's kick this one out. We wait for Darren to join us later.
Awesome. Good evening, everybody. I'm not going to talk about my week because it's been horrendous, Carla, but I'm happy to talk about foraging, mate.
Yeah, let's do it.
Foraging. What is it? What is foraging? It's just making use of your surroundings, isn't it? Of the landscape. That's all it is, really. And it
Yeah,
starts
I got some things for you to
nice.
um, to get
Push.
inspired.
Well, I guess I'm going to tell you my journey, Carla, because I'll just keep it about my first-hand knowledge
Yeah,
because I'm a beginner in foraging, really. Um, but really, it goes back to my childhood. My dad was a gardener, and although at the time I wasn't interested in gardening, it kind of rubbed off. Um, there's things I remember, and really, it started for me when we got the dog. We bought a dog,
hmm.
and it forced us out of the house basically, because we had to walk this dog. And then just from walking, Carla, really, you start to notice things. Yeah, you start
Yeah,
to life slows down, and you're not looking at the phone, and you're just looking at the greenery. You start to see the small things.
yeah, yeah. I noticed that as well, and it's a good point you're making that life starts to slow down, because it really is a very important point, isn't it?
Mm,
You start paying more attention to your surroundings, and yeah, what we have here.
mm. They've given everybody a bloody phone, haven't they, to focus their attention on, so nobody looks up from it. But
Yeah,
when you do, even just for 5 minutes, it's bloody amazing what's around us, Carla. Really, it's unbelievable what is around us. Um, yeah, the resources. When we think of resources, you think of oil and gas and things like that. But the resources really are the small things that you can utilize, that everybody can utilize.
mm.
It helps. I'm helped, Carla, because my wife, she she's a skip rat. Yeah, so if you
I
see,
know.
so if she sees a skip, she's in it. So that
Yeah.
helps. She's brilliant. Um, but together, right, we just go for a walk, Carla. We don't really go foraging. We go for a walk, and if we find anything, we utilize it and we bring it back.
Yeah, but is there like a beginner's like kind of thing? Because I remember that once I was talking to you, and you were telling me about, and I was completely lost because you were telling me about this and this and this, and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna poison myself.
Yeah, yeah,
Because for someone that doesn't know anything about anything, which is my case, yeah. So
yeah.
what would be the things that you would say for people to start like paying attention, or make use of the phone really to understand what
Yeah, the phone's your friend, Carla. Really now.
yeah. Mhm.
Where to start? From the beginning. So first of all, you need to get out of your armchair
Yeah.
and you need to go for a walk. You need to get out somewhere. Um, find a local walk, a nice circular, couple of miles circular, and try and be consistent. So what you've got to start noticing the seasons, Carla, because once you get in tune with the seasons, then you can see what's growing at certain times of year. Yeah. So everybody knows blackberries.
Okay, yeah.
Well, it's a great place to start, blackberries. Blackberries grow everywhere.
Everywhere, especially here in the UK, man. I never saw so many. I was just like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant place to start. Everybody, and the beautiful blackberries. And nettles.
Mm.
Nettles grow pretty much all year, apart from winter, right? But they grow pretty much all year round. And just pick the new leaves. Don't take the older stuff.
Mm.
But nettles can be utilised in pretty much anything, and it's so good for you.
Okay.
So that's where we started. We started with the basics. Yeah. So, for instance, during winter, it's a great time winter because if you go for a walk in winter, everything's kind of died back, and you get a real sense of the landscape.
Mm.
And then you've got to be consistent. Walk through the woods. Walk through it in winter, in spring, in summer, in autumn, and you can see then where the trees are, and try and identify one or two trees. Keep it dead simple. Don't overcomplicate things because there's too much. It's too much to learn. You'll never learn it in a lifetime.
One plant and one tree a
Yeah,
year.
try and study one. Try and learn one plant and one tree per year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, there's shortcuts. For instance, if anybody's interested in mushrooms, for instance, there are certain trees to look out for. There's certain trees that mushrooms will never grow.
Okay.
And certain
This
trees
one,
where
this one that we have here in this picture. I mean, let's start from my point of view, which is: are all mushrooms edible or not?
yeah, all mushrooms are edible, but some of them are only edible once.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we know that to identify the ones that only let you eat them once?
Right, so learn one or two per year.
Okay.
Don't overwhelm yourself. And I tell you, one of the best places for anything, mushrooms, plants, trees, is Facebook. There are some absolutely amazing fungus groups on Facebook.
Oh wow!
And
Brilliant.
we're talking about mycologists who are admin on there, so they will tell you what it is. They might need other information. It's unbelievable the information on there.
Mm-hmm.
But those, to me, those look like oyster.
Ah, okay.
If they're oyster, they're edible. Normally find them on beach, but you do find them on other things. But yeah, don't overwhelm yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Have a look and try and decide what if you'd like to just search for mushrooms and find out what they are. Some people just want to know the information on what a mushroom is and how to identify it, but I don't want to do that, Carla, because there's millions.
Yeah.
And you could never learn them all in a lifetime. So what I did was I decided what mushrooms I wanted to eat.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's thousands of mushrooms, but there's only so many you can eat.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and looked on the internet and I typed in top 10 edible mushrooms.
Okay.
And boom, that's where I started.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I go searching for them now, mate. That's what I like. We like to go walking and it's the most amazing bloody feeling, Carla, when you find what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether it's a mushroom or a plant or yeah, it's like a little fucking treasure hunt.
I see Jane is in the back.
Yeah.
Tell her if she wants to join, she can join us.
Thank you.
Let those brains of yours come into the Mondays People podcast. We need you. We need you.
Well, we kind of.
I think one of the first mushrooms I picked was birch bolete, which looks like a penny bunner set, which is one of the classic mushroom shapes. And where we walk, there's like a little birch forest, so they're all silver birch trees. And at sort of August, I can't even remember the month now, maybe August, September, you've just got a flush of all these mushrooms, and they're all of them are edible.
Oh wow!
But I have, you find sort of like I walk there all year and I don't see a soul, and then mushroom season comes round, and I'm fighting for the mushrooms. There's definitely other people there picking them.
I can't see you fighting, to be honest. I see you more taking the space, and this is mine. Get off.
Yeah.
But it's not just mushrooms, Carla. It's anything at all. It's anything. It's just getting out, walking, and just seeing what you could. Look, for instance, we'll say to each other, right, we'll go out at weekend and we'll try and find X, Y, or Z. And very rarely do you find X, Y, or Z, but you come home with X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? The three other different things that you think, oh, wow, okay, we didn't find that, but we got that.
Yeah. Yeah, I did that with my hubby, but with in the sea, because there is a lot of food that we eat in Portugal, you know, and you guys here don't even touch it.
Yes.
So we had like, wow, we were every day we were going out and we were bringing like bags full of it, and it was just like amazing. But I saw that when I was researching for the podcast today, that there is not it's not only the like the, how do you call it, the oh, I can't remember the name in English, but there is also, like in this picture, the green, like algae and stuff that you can eat and even use it for treatments as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you talking about kelp? Oh, there's loads of seaweeds, tons of seaweeds that are so good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's loads that you can eat, you can cook, you can eat raw. We're 60 miles, 60, 70 miles from coast, Carla. So utilising the beaches isn't a weekly thing for us. We have daily walks and we try and vary the walks as much as possible, and we use what we find.
Yeah. Well, I live 5 minutes from the beach, so
perfect.
The coastline's supposed to be really rich with stuff that you can.
Oh my God, I had no idea. It was so amazing. And we went fishing as well, and we got what is the name? Marco? Marco, is it?
Oh, mackerel.
Mackerel, yeah.
Yes.
Mackerel.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was just like, my mouth was just like, oh my God, the taste, it's completely different. And the experience, you know, it was just brilliant.
Absolutely.
And I think that this tiny things, like even for our kids, it marks them when they grow up, you know, because they are learning how, if anything comes, at least you know that the planet provides for you. So the fish doesn't come from the supermarket, basically. They know where they come from, you know?
Yeah, look, that's, I've always.
I love because I go out walking quite a lot with my 18-year-old, and every walk we go on, I make sure I test him while we're out. I make, right, what's that tree, Max? What's this? What's that? And it's amazing. I know he's a lad and he pretends not to be interested, but keep going over it. He has learned so much.
Yeah, well, we know all,
whether he likes it or not.
we know all about that repetition, don't we?
Yes, we do. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
It's how we learn. And do you know, like going back, just taking a backward step to what you said right at the start, do you know, like the basics? The basics to foraging, right? Forget foraging for a second. The basics are getting out there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just being
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, true.
You don't have to find anything, but it's just nice to be out. You'll always see something, a bit of wildlife or a bit of something. You always do. But it changes all the time, Carla, which is what I love. And when you're consistent, you see those consistent changes throughout the year. So you learn what grows in that area and at what time of year. And when you start collecting those things, Carla, like I have several apple trees in several different places, and particular years, if it's been a bad year, I get no apples.
Hmm.
Yeah, so you can see the weather changes.
Yeah. Yeah, I planted my apple tree, and I was super excited because I had 4 apples this year.
Yes.
And it's amazing because you just go like, oh my god, she was so tiny, now she's growing, and now she's feeding me,
Yeah.
and the smell was amazing, no chemicals,
Yeah.
the taste was completely different. And I think when you start going and plant your own food, it was I don't know if you have those pictures and if you want to share them, because I think you had a good collect this year, because I remember seeing some of your pictures.
Oh, from the garden.
Yeah.
Well, really, Carla, because I know some people struggle to get out, so start a garden at home.
Yeah.
That's the best place to get the bug. Do you know?
And grow all your weeds on and see what they grow into.
Yeah, that's my wife's favourite job in the garden.
What did she
Right,
say?
so I do most of the growing in terms of the vegetables, but my wife does all the herbs, right? And any
Yeah.
weed whatsoever, she won't let me get rid of it.
I have to grow it on to see what it is.
She likes to grow the weed on, identify it, and see it at every stage of its life, so she can identify it.
It's really bad for getting rid of the weeds because I
terrible.
can't pull them up.
Yeah, I didn't know about the like the
Dandelions.
Yeah, those ones used to be edible. Well, they are still edible, but people you can do soup with it. You can do teas. They are amazing, and I don't know since when they start telling us to kill it, but it's an amazing weed, isn't it?
Yes.
Totally. You can make what I tend to do with things like nettles. I'll pick like the fresh nettle leaves because you can't use the older ones. So you can only. I tend to cultivate a patch at the back of out of the back of the garden, and I just take off the top tips like you would with tea.
Yeah.
Then you dry them, and then I blend them into a powder, and I have like a powder of super greens, which would be things like nettles and dandelions, and anything else that I wanted to put in there, maybe dried kale. And then if you're making any sort of soups, stews, anything like that, any sauces, you just put a spoonful in of powdered super greens.
Amazing.
So just
and they grow that very thick root, which I was reading that one is very powerful as well, because it's almost like what you call it, curcumin.
Yeah, you can use all 3 parts of dandelion, can't you? Roots, leaves, and flowers.
You can make coffee out of the root as well.
Like a coffee.
Coffee.
A kind of a coffee, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
if you roast the root, apparently it makes like a coffee.
Okay.
You can juice the dandelion and put them in juices. It's quite a strong flavour. I did juice a big bag of dandelions once and tried to drink it, and it definitely needed something with it.
Oh. That's a good
Definitely
one.
needed something with it.
You've got to be brave, haven't you, and just try these things.
Yeah. We had Anthony saying anyone done spirulina with turmeric,
Spirulina, turmeric. If you add
healthy powder.
if you add some black pepper is like it helps. It's like a carrier. It helps to carry things into the
Yeah,
body.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I take that at night. I do the golden milk, and that's what I use. Yeah, I use the black pepper.
Yeah,
Because it's the one that is going to carry the turmeric into the bloodstream, isn't it?
absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. There's all sorts of things.
Yeah,
Like
but he's saying something about 28 detox,
21
turmeric,
days
and
detox.
aldi powder. I don't know what aldi powder is.
Healthy powder. No, I've not heard of that one.
Mm-mm. Maybe Anthony, if you can spread your wisdom into the chat, please. Sunflowers are a deterrent to cancer, apparently. Oh,
Yeah. Oh, there's all
good.
sorts of things like almond kernels.
Hmm.
They're very good. Dried apricot kernels, very good for combating cancers, certain cancers.
Okay, good.
But yeah, that picture there. What a beautiful picture that is.
Yeah, and this you can find this like everywhere you look here
Pretty
in the UK.
much.
You can find them. You know what? I didn't know. You see this like elongated big one, yeah.
I think those are rose hips.
Ah.
So again, you can use rose hips. You can use it for all sorts of things. Rose hips, they're very good.
Uh-huh.
We
Yeah.
also learnt a new berry last year. I can't remember. Himalayan honeysuckle, it's called.
Mm.
And it has these tiny little purple berries, but when they're ripe, they turn brown. And they taste like treacle tart.
Wow.
But they're only small. Yeah, that's quite an unusual plant. And all the I think a lot of the plants from the Himalayas are sort of quite tall, quite big, giant plants.
And quite invasive as well.
Yes, very.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're quite invasive. We've got a lot of invasive plants over here.
Yeah.
All brought over.
And they're all, they're not indigenous. So yeah. But that handful, that just reminds me of summer or late summer, early autumn.
Okay. Monica is saying, I'm looking for Ora Pro Nobis seeds. Apparently, you can eat everything, roots, leaves, and do fruits too. And it's really rich.
I've not heard of that either.
Never heard of that.
Pro Nobis seeds. Don't know what that is, Moni. I don't know what plant does it come from.
Yeah, I don't know that. I'm gonna make appointments of what you guys are telling, and I'm gonna go into my research because on this, guys, I'm really like the best newbie of them all because I only started in 2020. I got my first lettuces and my potatoes, and I was so fucking happy. Never been so happy in my life. And this year I got my potatoes and my tomatoes, whatever. And I listen, Scott, I didn't know you had to cut some of the branches, so I have tomatoes like everything. Oh, I had to go and spread it for my neighbors.
Yeah, like triffids. Well, they're like triffids.
Yeah. Oh God, it was too many. Oh dear Lord, yeah. You see the apples,
Yeah,
which
beautiful.
I got my apple tree. And another thing that I find it really amazing is and I think I saw this somewhere in Facebook when I was in there. And I decided to start doing it as well, which is you take the seeds of the fruit, and when you go on advent, like going out or something, you just throw the seeds, and yeah, you are planting food again, isn't it?
Well, even you can go one step further than that and actually plant the seeds at home,
Hmm.
get them going, particularly apples seeds, because they take a little while to get going because the trees. So you get them going at home and then do some phantom planting.
Yeah. Oh, Anthony, please send that book to me. Oh, brilliant. That's what I need.
Look, everything is provided. Yeah, it's just not provided conveniently.
Hmm.
Yeah, people want convenience, Carla. They want Asda because it's fucking convenient, mate.
Yeah.
But everything is already there. So them apples there, for instance, me and my wife collect. Well, me and my wife and a friend, we collect literally 100 weight of apples every year, and we make apple cider vinegar every year. Maybe, I don't know, 100 gallons.
You kidding me?
No.
Really?
Honestly, mate, honestly, we bathe in the stuff. She bathes the dog in it.
Yeah. I drink apple cider vinegar in the morning and before I go to bed every single day.
What
You
about
can make your
Carla?
own,
If I
Carla.
teach you how to make your
Yeah.
own,
Oh my God. I would be like, oh yes, please.
it's so easy.
I didn't know I could make my own. You can.
It can't be any easier, Carla.
Honestly, it's like an idiot's guide.
But you need to find the wild apples because at my local greengrocers they can't buy organic apples. So that's why that's possibly where we started the foraging. Was I wanted the apples to make the vinegar.
So there we go.
Okay, so if I have my apple tree, which is with this ones, can I make the apple cider vinegar?
Yes.
Yes, you need a lot of apples.
Okay.
But go searching for apples, and I can even give you some of the bacteria, the mother. It's called mother. To put in because we've got a lot of the stuff. Anybody can make it, Carla. You can make the mother yourself. We could just send you a bottle of vinegar and add that, and that would work.
Oh, you mean the mother is that thing
it's the bacteria.
Ah.
Yeah, the mother it grows, and the longer you leave it in there, the more it grows and it expands. It's a bacteria.
Oh my God, Scott! Yes, please send me that.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, I buy the bottle, and it's like
Oh wow.
15 quid for a liter. Yeah.
Carla, all you need to do to make the apple cider vinegar is
find some apples.
I have because here where I am there is like a lot of apple trees, and even this like it was in September, October. Yeah, I had like a box that one of my clients brought me because this year the apples were something crazy because I think everybody was having like a flow of apples. And I had to we are Portuguese, so we do like a lot of food with apple, like sweets, and I did the jellies, and I had to sort it out to get rid of the apples. But imagine if I knew that, I would be having apple cider vinegar done by me.
Yeah, anybody can make it, and it's not difficult. It's just again, it don't come free. You've got to give you time.
That's what I have the most time.
Well, that's all anybody really has, Carla.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Everybody has an abundance of time until it runs out, but it's what you decide to bloody do with it, isn't it?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
true.
do you sell it cheaply to the cheapest bidder, or do you decide you want something different?
Yeah, yeah. True, true. Anthony is asking, Scott, have you heard of the Lost Book of Herbal Remedies?
Yeah, we've heard of it. Yeah, not
Yeah.
necessarily got the book.
Do you know what, Anthony? We need to have you here. I've asked you this many, many, many times, man. Get out of the shade and come to your house.
Come to
Join
the
the
light.
divergence and come. We need to pick up your brains. We have Darren in the house. Hello, Mr. Darren.
Oh, I'm here finally.
I'm glad Darren's here actually, because one of the importances of everything, it all stems at trees really. That's Darren's speciality.
Oh yeah, we can show him that picture, and perhaps he can tell us where does this grow, Darren?
Yeah, it's not that clear. That looks like beach.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, I think it is beach because they're oysters.
All right.
And oysters like to grow on beach.
I've probably come across thousands of them, to be honest.
Oh mate, well let me let you into a little secret, Darren.
Yeah.
If you go to a restaurant and they are selling oyster mushrooms, they have been foraged by somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can grow oysters at home. They're one of the few mushrooms that you can grow at home, but they're not the same as wild.
Yeah,
they're just not the same.
What would something like that sell as per kilo? Because if I come across that when I was cutting, I'd have just kicked them off.
Wow, Darren, I'm not sure. They're quite expensive, mate. Maybe 25 quid a kilo.
Yeah.
Which doesn't sound a lot, Darren, but mate, if you're picking them throughout the day,
yeah,
they've got a value, mate. So
we come across everything, and I've never ever really even looked into what it was.
Yeah, mate. You will do in woods.
Yeah.
Especially, Darren, if it's a mixed deciduous forest. Yeah, I always look for three main trees. My three main trees are oak, beech, and what's the other one? Birch. Oak, beech, birch. Ash is quite good. Pine, some. But they're the three main ones for a lot of the mushrooms.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I come across loads of them.
You will have done, mate. I know. Look, has anybody have you heard of porcini mushrooms?
Yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah.
Right. So everybody's heard of porcinis. Porcini mushrooms are called seps, right, or penny bun.
Yeah.
The last time I looked, they were about 45 quid a kilo.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And let me tell you, porcini mushrooms, right, can grow as big as my head.
No.
Yes. And they're one of the tastiest mushrooms that you could ever eat. I'm not. They're my ultimate favourite.
And we've got jars of them.
And we've got jars of them. Yeah, we've got jars of them dried.
Wow.
Yeah, we've got all in ladder.
We have Patricia saying, I am making a liqueur with rose petals. Oh my God. You are a fancy woman.
Nice.
Never heard that it was possible to do a liqueur with rose petals.
Yeah, it's a lovely.
Have you heard about that one, Scott?
You can make it out of anything. Yeah. Liquor. Pretty much anything.
Rose water's good for your eyes.
Yeah, it's quite good for
rose petals.
Yeah, rose water's quite good for eyes.
Good for you.
Yeah, we have Samuel saying, I also produce apple cider, but it takes a lot of time to juice them. And then I use wine ferment, brew them, and of course, time and patience. You need to add wine?
We don't juice ours.
Ah.
We don't juice them at all. Just chop them up coarsely.
Ah.
Well, it's an absolute treat. Yeah, we don't go to all that trouble. Then
You
straight.
see, Samuel, perhaps when
And we
Scott
don't.
gives me the secret.
We don't. We tend. We don't use sugar either. We tend to use honey.
Ah, yeah, way better.
Just much. Yeah, it's much better. Much better tasting as well afterwards.
Anybody who's got a dog, especially, one of the reasons I started making the vinegar was for the dog, in case she ever got fleas. And once you've made your vinegar, we've got 4 big rosemary bushes in the garden, and you strip like the fresh green little bits off, and you chop it up, and you infuse that in your vinegar. And I've used that on the dog for years. And if she's ever got fleas, it's gone instantly with sort of like one rinse of that. It's brilliant stuff. So yeah, I use that.
You know what? That's one of the natural recipes for even if you have in your head. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
It treats the scalp if you have what you call it, eczema.
Eczema, yeah.
When I started being a hairdresser, old school, we used to use a lot of a mixture of vinegar and water, like 50%, to give shine to the hair, because there weren't a lot of products like you have today, and the hair would be shiny as well. You can use it for that as well.
The rosemary is also beneficial for that. It's meant to be a good hair rinse for dark hair. Is the rosemary?
Yeah, you can infuse anything into it. You know, once you've made the vinegar, once you've made the apple cider vinegar and it's bottled up, you can then infuse other things into it. So you could put oregano oil in. You could put oregano in, and let that infuse. You could put rosemary in.
You could also you can also use vinegar to extract the beneficial things out of plants. For example, you could make a dandelion vinegar. Infused, you could put nettles, you could put anything you want, and basically the vinegar will draw out the beneficial properties out of the plant. You then disregard sort of like the plant matter, and you can just maybe, instead of you taking just vinegar on a morning, apple cider vinegar, you could take a vinegar that's had dandelion and nettle in, and you get all the benefits of those as well.
Oh, I see.
All in one go.
Yeah. When you make plant medicine, you use different things to draw out from the plants, and vinegar is one that you can use, as well as alcohol and water. But vinegar's a good one for sort of drawing out, I think, the vitamins and stuff out of. So it's a good way to get the benefits of the dandelion and everything else that you put in it.
Yeah, true.
You can use that in salad dressings.
Yeah, it's great in salad dressings.
I use that. Yeah, I use my
anything. Do you know anything gut related, skin related? The apple cider vinegar, right, is amazing. Yeah, hair, anything to do with skin.
One of the things that I use a lot is coconut oil, raw coconut oil, and I had like a problem in my skin, which was bacteria. They call it the versicolor bacteria, and I treat it with coconut oil. Yeah, because it's an antibacterial. It's antibacterial, the coconut oil, and I use it as my toothbrush as well. I used to have a lot of pain in my gums, and I used to bleed a lot. And since I started using the coconut oil with the baking soda, So 50-50. Well, yeah, it's 10 spoons of one and 10 spoons of the other. Then you mix it, you put it in the fridge,
Yeah.
and then you use it as a toothpaste. And I never bleed for my gums again, never feel pain again. I don't feel the difference if I eat something hot and cold. I don't, because it used to be painful as well if I did that. And I've been doing that for since 2011.
I
Probably.
can confirm that, Carla, because I do the same. And since I've stopped using toothpaste and I use the coconut oil and bicarb of soda, my teeth don't crumble anymore.
Yeah.
What else do you put in it?
I put
Put something else in it.
peppermint oil.
Of course she does, Scott.
Peppermint oil.
Peppermint oil, clove oil, and you can put tea tree oil if you want.
Yeah.
Oh.
As long as the good quality essential oil.
Yeah, I used to put natural mint in it.
Yeah. You could put natural mint in,
Yeah.
anything like that.
But but I didn't like. I liked the non-flavor of it.
Yeah. I mean,
So
ultimately, Carla, you could put rose petal in there if you wanted for flavour.
Yeah, you could.
Anything you wanted for flavour. Oh, yeah, you could
absolutely
even put charcoal in there. That helps with your teeth.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got black teeth then, Carla.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I'm very happy with what I'm doing. Yeah. Okay, Scott, looking at this picture, what I can see is that you need some special tool and you need to have some good pair of eyes and they know where to look. That's what I take from this picture, but I know you're going to tell me something more.
No.
Well, not really, Carla. You need a little knife.
Okay.
Well, it's handy. You don't need a knife, but it's handy if you've got one. You'll need a bag or a net to carry them home in, and you need to be prepared to be patient and walk with your eyes glued to the ground.
Yeah.
And that picture there, Carla, that's a porcini.
Oh, this is the porcini.
Absolutely, that is.
Wow.
And it's a beauty as well.
I definitely come across them.
Wow, Darren.
Oh, Darren.
Oh, Darren, don't tell us what you do with it.
No, I won't. You'll cry.
Yes.
Those are porcinis, mate. Those are prized in my eyes, anyway. Not in everybody's, but in mine they are.
Yeah.
So
what would you do with them then? Just use them in your general cooking in replacement of like supermarket mushrooms or what?
Well, I'll tell you why. The better dried, really, porcinis.
Yeah.
You can dry them, and
you can almost once you've dried them, some of the pieces are that big. I've used them as sheets of lasagna instead of lasagna. Well, I put it as well as lasagna, but yeah, I sort of like layer them in a lasagna. And they're beautiful.
Oh my God.
They're stunning. And again, you can powder them. And what we do, again, Carla, we're not experts, right? We know what, maybe 10 or 12 edible mushrooms, right? That we know.
Yeah.
We haven't found all of them.
Well, you are expert to me because I don't know nothing.
Yeah, we know nothing.
To my eyes, you are an expert.
Meg's just written down the toothpaste.
The toothpaste recipe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got coconut oil.
Yeah, we got everything to make it.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Honestly, going back to that toothpaste just for a second, if you go onto YouTube and go and find the uses for bicarbonate of soda and baking soda, it's absolutely unreal what you can do with stuff. Yeah,
really. Yeah.
But yeah, these mushrooms, mate. These mushrooms here, they're 45 quid more probably now a kilo.
Yeah, the ones you just shown on the beech tree. I know a dead beech tree with a big stems covered in them.
Wow.
Oh, come on, Darren.
On a
Go and grab a bag and a knife and bring some to us.
And I mean, what you're looking for is because a lot of the plantations now are
Do you
just.
think I will find them here where I live?
Well, you want natural woodland, this naturally grown, not plantation.
Yeah, we have
Yeah,
here.
yeah, that's what you want. Then you'll find a lot of varied trees in there, and you're more likely to find all this stuff.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
And with plantation, you find that a lot of light gets to it, and the floor will be covered in bramble anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
So
the floor would be what?
It'll be covered in brambles, so you won't really be able to walk through it. With natural woodland, you've got that natural cover anyway.
Yeah.
So it's more natural, so you're more likely to find all this stuff.
Well, you are, because again, mycelium, right, which is where mushrooms all come from. Mycelium is underground. We don't see that.
Mm-hmm.
And mycelium is the fungus, and the mushroom that we see is the fruiting body. So if you imagine an apple tree underground,
yeah,
and it pops apples up above ground. Yeah, so you pick the apple, and you think that's the mushroom. Well, actually, that's just the fruiting body of the mushroom that's underneath.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't make sense. That is blowing my mind completely.
Okay,
I never thought about it like that.
Right, so that's exactly what's happening here. So the actual fungus is it's like tiny little strands of hair that run through the ground, and it connects with everything, Carla. Everything.
Yeah.
And that's called mycelium, right? That's the fungus, and the mushrooms above ground that we see and pick, that is just the fruiting body of a fungus.
Yeah, you are talking, and I can. My mind is reporting me to the movie Avatar, where you have those. It looks like mycelium, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's mycelium. Basically, it connects everything. But again, it's good knowledge to have. What I like to look for is ground that's been unbroken for as long as possible. So if a field has been ploughed, there's definitely no mycelium.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So you're looking for older ground that hasn't been tampered with for many years.
Yeah, and you'll get that with plantation woodland that it's been before it was planted. They would plough it up or do something with it. Put a mulcher over it or something like that. So yeah, you want the natural older woodland.
Yeah. Again, it's not for all mushrooms. It's just for certain mushrooms.
Yeah.
But the ones I like to pick, what we got there, they look like chestnuts.
Yeah, sweet chestnut there.
Chestnuts are one of the first things my dad taught me about. Yeah, my dad. We used to go walking with my dad. And in autumn,
we eat a lot of chestnuts, especially in October.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you go to Portugal, you would feel the smell, because there are little men with little ovens, and they are just cooking them, and the smell is everywhere, and they just put salt and charcoal, and then like an ancient pan or something, and it's everywhere in every corner. So we eat a lot of this, and in Portugal they are very cheap because you have them everywhere, right? But here they are expensive. And I found a tree last year
where
we were walking, and they were falling. So this year we tried to go to the same pathway, and they took them down. I was so sad and disappointed.
Over southwest of England, they grow hell of a lot of chestnut. It grows really well over there.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely everywhere. But
well, chestnut, Darren, it's quick growing, isn't it? And they like it for timber.
Yeah.
So it never really reaches maturity.
No.
It's just used for timber. That's why chestnuts are so expensive, because we import them.
Oh,
and there's no real reason for us to import them. We could have forests of chestnuts.
Yeah, there's a woodland near us that's got a lot of sweet chestnut in.
Yeah.
It's they call it a poor man's oak chestnut timber.
Absolutely, mate. But it can be coppiced, can't it?
Yeah, very fast growing, straight, and also it splits really, really easy, so you can make fencing stakes out of it.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. That's why they use chestnut, and that's why we import chestnuts, because we grow it for timber.
Yeah, and people can't be asked to go out and pick them up, can they?
Absolutely, mate. No,
what else can you do with them? Is there anything else you can do with them?
We cook them. We put them in with in the oven with potato. You know, those small potatoes and meat.
Right.
Yeah, turkey.
Got lots of good fats in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're really good.
And abundant. They're abundant. Well, yeah, that was one of the first things, you know, like as a kid, you remember, we always used to go out walking, me and my dad, and it was one of the first things he ever taught me about chestnuts and the difference between horse chestnuts and conker trees.
Yeah.
And we used to go picking them every year as a kid.
Yeah.
Come home with a sack full, you know. I remember, you know, bringing half a sack in, and my mum looking, because we had a coal fire, an open fire back then. So my dad used to get a shovel, shove it in the fire, wait till it got hot, and put these chestnuts on it, and try and pull these chestnuts off before they started exploding.
Let me just reply to Anthony. Yes, Anthony, I will send you a message with my email. And Scott, did you see send you already the PDF?
Yes, brilliant.
Yeah.
Thanks, Anthony, for that.
Yeah. And we have a promise again here on record that he will come one day. He's being very obfuscating. One day, he's not saying which day, and he's at work at the moment. Okay, we are going to let you skip this one, Anthony, but next time, no obfuscation. Make the day and the date and the hour, please.
That's it.
That's it. And what we have here. Oh, yes. Anthony saying buy some fruit from a supermarket shop. Oh, yeah. I mean, they've been having everything without seeds. I wonder why.
Well, this is Monsanto in a nutshell. This is what Monsanto were doing for years. Monsanto have now been bought out by Merck. Is it Merck? Merco? I can't remember what they're called in Germany.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. Look, they've been doing it for years. But it's not everything, right? It's really not everything. But yeah, it is very true. We've done a bit of an experiment. We changed the dog's diet, which in turn kind of changed our diet a little bit. And we buy all our fruit from a greengrocer. Not
yeah, I start doing that as well.
Yeah, so we don't buy it from the supermarket because there's a massive difference. So what we noticed is that pears and bananas in particular, it doesn't matter. They don't ripen like they should do. In fact, they don't really ripen at all.
Mm-hmm.
When I buy bananas from the supermarket, right? Well, you see, if Scott ever buys me bananas and pears from the supermarket, it's a waste of time. They have to go in the bin because the dog can't eat them. the pears will never ever ripen. They never ripen. They're always rock hard.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. Mhm.
Yeah, the pears are rock hard, and the bananas, for the stage where the dog's allowed to eat them, they need to be brown and spotty, and they never ever go brown and spotty. They just turn grey.
Yeah.
They turn grey and weird, and so I only buy from the greengrocers, and it's unbelievable the difference every time. Sort of like if I don't know where Scott's been, and I'll say to him, "These pears they're not ripening," he'll go, "Yeah, shit, I got them from the super," and I'm like, "I know, because I can't feed them the dog because they don't ripen."
So yeah, do you know, just noticing things like that. Yeah, noticing things and making changes. So we only get it from greengrocers now. We try and grow as much as we can, Carla, but unless you've got a nice couple of acres, you can't grow everything you need. You really can't. It's impossible. Yeah, you can grow bits of everything, but not you can't sustain yourself. You need a big garden. A couple of acres, 2 or 3 acres could feed a whole community.
Yeah. I noticed that when I planted the lettuce, I had so many because it was my first time. So I put a lot because I said, you know what? I'm new at this, and this won't won't come anything of it. So let me put a lot, and I had so many, and I was just like, oh my god, what have I done? But
yeah, look, people could look into setting up community gardens. You know, people. There's always a reason why someone can't do something. Yeah, there's never a reason why they can do it, but there is always a reason why they can't do it. So for those that can't get out, they haven't got a garden. Because I understand not everybody's got a garden or access to a garden, but there's so much land just wasted.
Yeah,
it's almost like growing vegetables is not cool, isn't it? That's what I found when I started growing. My mates said, "Oh, how old are you growing vegetables? You know, when do you have time to do that?" We're like, "Well, it's when we're growing them. It's bloody light out till 9, 10 o'clock at night. So we're just out there doing stuff till then."
That's it. Listen, everybody's got time. I know we're all busy. I'm busy. I work. I have to feed my family, just like you do, Darren, just like you do, Carla. But you have to find time. Look, these podcasts, for instance, every Monday it's a big commitment, but it's a couple of hours, isn't it, out of your week. You've just got to work around stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. There's a million excuses, Darren. This picture epitomizes just getting out as a family, just getting out.
And like Jane was saying, teaching the kids, they might not want to know, but it will stay in their minds. Like it stayed with us. Yeah.
Listen.
You might go through life and do and experience everything you want to experience, but it will come a time, like you said, Scott, life will slow down. And it's in that moment that you are going to pick up the knowledge that you had, and you're going to start paying more attention, really. And this picture for me, it's really amazing in that sense, because when I went with my son and we were looking for berries and stuff, he was super excited, because it was something different. And we were both of us not knowing what we were looking for. So it was a good for both of us,
Yeah, absolutely. And again, another rule of thumb, Carla, never put anything in your mouth that you don't know what it is. Yeah, so even if you've got a doubt, don't put it in your mouth. Simple. Take it home with you. Try to identify it for next time. And once you're absolutely positive, then by all means try it. That's just a rule of thumb.
Yeah, now we have the phone, so like you said, you have lots of apps and groups. So it's not like you can reach out and people can tell you what you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's
really
yeah, go ahead.
it's really not worth it, Carla, especially when it comes to fungus, right? Any mushrooms, right? It's so easy to put it in your mouth and think you're just eating a mushroom, but it could be the last thing you ever fucking do.
With mushrooms, you can take a nibble of any mushroom and have a little chew on it, and as long as you spit it out and don't swallow, there will be no ill effects, except them you may have. Some of the, especially like some of the ones that are not edible, they're really, really peppery and they don't taste nice. But even just a little chew of a mushroom would not kill you, even the most poisonous mushrooms.
Yeah, I've seen somewhere when I was researching that if you scratch the top and it goes yellow, those
Yes,
are
that would be a yellow stainer.
Yellow
Yeah.
stain of that.
So those ones are no.
Yeah, don't put them in there.
Those are the ones that Scott said you only eat once. Yeah.
Yeah.
So realistically, right? I mean, forget the different types of mushrooms. There's hundreds of different types of genomes and species and subspecies. It would take a lifetime to learn it all, right? So I try and learn 2 mushrooms a year, right, that I can eat. And while I'm picking the mushrooms I know that I can eat, there are other mushrooms that grow around them at the same time. So they're the ones that I will try to identify.
I'm just having a look, Scott, on online at there's a list of edible mushrooms you'll find in the woods.
Yeah.
You heard of rishis?
Yeah.
What? So I'm just looking at the ones I've come across, and I've come across thousands of them.
Wow.
Come across them all the time. What it says they're good for tea.
Reishi, they're quite rare here actually, Devon. But yeah, you do find them.
God, I've seen loads and loads of them.
Monica, I don't know what mushroom you were referring to. I don't know what slide you were. I don't know if it was it that one that Scott was saying that is the most amazing one, the 45-pound kilo one. Let us know in the comments, please. I don't know.
Reishis, I think I've seen them more on either fallen trees that are kind of rotting down or fallen limbs.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the oysters. Was that the one you were just on about?
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah.
It's a beauty, Darren, because there's a few different types. I'm not quite sure how many, 3 or 4 maybe, but most of them are edible, and they're a really, really nice edible. Do you know what I mean? Look, some of them are. I went online, Darren, and I looked at the top 10 edible in Britain, right? And I've eaten some of them, and they're shit.
Yeah.
So I don't want to really pick any more of them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'll just pick the ones I want to eat, or I can use to bargain with.
Another one is Ganoderma.
Ganoderma. What's its other name?
If you want to share the screen, Darren.
I'm looking on my phone. Artist conch.
Artist bracket fungus. Yeah.
So that is associated with a tree when the roots are rotting out.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's like a bracket fungus.
Yeah, I've seen them bigger than your head.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. There's a few different species of that as well. A lot of different bracket funguses.
Yeah.
There's the horsehoof fungus. What's the other one? Yeah, you can use it for tinder. That's what they used to use back in the day for tinder.
Carrying fire.
Right.
You know, they're carrying fire about.
Yeah.
Horsehoof fungus. It stays dry. It's like a really soft tinder.
We have Mia saying, I remember the days of allotments. I bet Scott does too.
Well,
Scott?
Mia, I do, yeah. When I was a kid, and this is where it really started for me, but it was subconscious because at the time I wasn't interested. But my dad had an allotment in his back garden. Wasn't huge, just grew vegetables. No fruit really, but just vegetables. And I remember digging it over as a kid, and I fucking hated it. But it stuck with me, yeah, because most of my knowledge comes from them days, really. Jane's dad, he were a gardener, so Jane were into gardening really without knowing it. It's weird, really, what you pick up, and we're just building on that knowledge, really. But yeah, the allotments, right? So my dad had an allotment in back garden. When we bought this house that we've just sold, we had a beautiful back garden with a fucking beautiful lawn. The garden's still there, but it's now an allotment. So yeah, Mia, I do, mate, and I miss them days.
That allotment.
There were slower days.
What is the allotments?
It's a garden away from the home. So do you know
Oh, I see. I know. I have one here next to me. Yeah, where like it's a big piece of land, and each one has his own little garden, and then they go and they yeah.
So yeah. Don't forget that back in the, again, we're just touching on Affidavit for a second, but back at the last industrial revolution, yeah, people were forced off the land and into the factories and basically into cities and towns. So they lost connection with this. Some were lucky to have a garden with a house, others weren't. Do you know what I mean? So there were allotments made for people. It goes back a long way. Allotments, really. There's massive history with allotments, especially where I'm from. People frigging live on their allotments, don't they, Jane? With the bird, I have a few. Well, I used to know a few people who are gone now, but who used to keep pigeons on their allotments, and they used to live there. They used to live there with the birds. So definitely.
Yeah.
Darren, do you know this picture what we're looking at?
Yeah.
Do you see any of that on maybe oak or anything?
That looks like an alder, that tree.
Well, what have you seen that mushroom that they're looking at?
Yeah, I think we have, yeah.
That's edible, mate. That's chicken at woods.
Yeah, I have seen that before. To be honest, I've probably come across every single one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've been in the woods for 22 years.
Yeah, mate.
The other one I was just looking at was one called jelly ear.
Yeah, jelly here, yeah.
do you use that?
No, it is edible.
I don't want to pick it either.
It is edible, Darren, but we know it's one that, again, we don't eat because it's jelly.
They use
come across that all the time.
Yeah, they use it in Chinese soups, Jane's saying. But yeah, we don't eat that one. Again, there's lots we do eat, there's lots we don't eat. Some you can exchange for other things. Each to their own.
But now I've learnt a little bit. I know all the spots I can go to find stuff.
Yeah. mate, you have got half the battle because you know trees.
Yeah.
If you can identify a patch of trees, you're on your way to finding what you want.
Yeah.
Darren, is birch polypore on that list?
I'll have a look at what's it called?
Birch polypore.
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 I'm just having a look now.
Yeah, man, there's tons.
That's a big bracket one, which is just a brownish colour, but it's a useful one because you can peel the bottom of it off and use it as a sterile plaster.
Oh, right. Seen loads of that.
Yeah, because I see quite a lot of those growing.
Yeah.
So I imagine you see absolutely tons of them.
Yeah, well, yeah, you'll see them. You'll see like the top snapped out, and they'll be growing all the way up the dead stem.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, mate, you've got half a battle won.
Yeah, I probably know. I probably know where I can get most of this stuff, to be honest.
So that's best place to start then. And you know,
Yeah,
just right at the beginning, you know nothing. So go and find some mushrooms that are edible. The most common ones, the easy to find ones, the easy to spot ones, because some are easier to spot than others. If it says difficult to spot, don't even bother yet.
yeah.
You'll find
And,
tons,
and,
mate,
and
with
about this picture here, do you think what she's showing here, it's like the
it looks
the
like
root?
it looks like wild garlic, Carla.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Oh,
Again,
oh
it
yeah,
grows in
yeah.
abundance.
And you can see
Oh God,
Mhm.
yeah. Wild garlic is absolutely everywhere, everywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bloody hell.
in woodland.
Where have I been all my life?
And Carla, you'll smell it.
yeah. It's really, really strong smell.
Yeah.
Again, it's where where I've seen it is in planted plantations, but it's been amongst like beach
Yeah.
is where I've seen it. But yeah, one estate we work on, there's probably 30, 40 acres of the ground floor is wild garlic.
Yeah.
Yeah, tons of it.
Okay, so Scott, Monica, she wants to know the name of this one.
Well, again, it depends where Monica is, but in England,
She's in Ireland.
in Ireland, well, it's
Ireland or Scotland? I don't know. Somewhere
known
around there.
as a CEP, 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 or a penny bun, or is it? I think it's called Edulus boletus, or Boletus edulus.
Boletus handle.
Boletus edulus is its Latin name.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's a penny bun. Porcini.
Porcini, yeah.
Oh, is it porcini?
Yeah, it's known as all those names, yeah. So its Latin name is Boletus edulus.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's its Latin name. But it's, again, I don't know all the Latin names, but I know a couple of the ones, yeah.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, Carla, realistically, right, I've been picking mushrooms a very, very long time. I used to pick mushrooms when I was about 14. Naughty mushrooms.
I think
Yeah, do you know
this one we need to call Jane, and she can tell us what are we seeing in this picture.
Well, yeah, those are dandelion leaves.
Yeah. Right? Because she's an expert now.
Yeah, and I
She's
know
been growing them.
juice tastes like.
So what would you do with them? Because most people in their gardens will just spray them and kill them.
Yeah. Juice them.
Yeah.
I won't recommend drinking them on their own, but you can add them to other things.
I dry and powder mine.
Yeah, dry and powder.
And use them for what?
In anything,
soups,
anything.
In your spag bowls, in your soups, in your stews, in anything you can.
Do you know when you add
anything to add that you'd add veg in for kids?
Yeah.
Right.
Same with the mushrooms, Darren. If you add like powdered mushrooms to like a stew, it adds like a deep kind of meaty flavour.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Brilliant if you're vegan or vegetarian.
How'd you dry them out then? Like a powder them, you said?
Well, wife's got a dehydrator,
but you can if you just slice them and lay them on a tray somewhere, they will dry.
Slice them nice and thin onto paper.
I don't know how you get them because you don't really want to put them away. Sort of, you want to put, like I store mine away in glass jars once they're like cracker dry.
Yeah.
So you could do them in the oven. You could maybe let them air dry. And then if you wanted to get them cracker dry, maybe put them in the oven on the lowest setting with the door slightly open.
Yeah. Oh, right.
But your greens would dry just fine, sort of room temperature.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well,
You know
one-
what, Scott? We should have one a Monday podcast just for Jane, and she
Too
takes pictures of everything she has in her little alchemy storage.
Yes.
It'd have to be a 4-hour one.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. I'm up for it. You know, we can split it in 2 Mondays. I don't care. But I think she's the one we need to have on our site. She's
Well,
an
good.
encyclopedia.
She's actually just packing all her alchemy into boxes, so we need to find new alchemy cupboards for her wherever we're going. Yeah. I know she's got needs. She keeps looking at me. She's got needs.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
And there are a couple of things I desperately want to, like lavender's one I want to tell you about. Lavender oil.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness. I did a herbal medicine course and they told me that lavender is one of the best things that you can possibly use on burns.
On what?
Burns, if you've got a burn.
Oh, a burn.
So if you've got any sort of burn, you just pour neat lavender oil all over it, and within 10 minutes, it's gone.
Yeah.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I've had a few burns, and I've done exactly
yeah,
that.
yeah. You know what? I have a blood problem, which is thrombocytopenia. And when I was the doctors were saying this and this and this, you need to be a lab rat, and I said to myself, you know what? There must be something out there that I can actually use that is natural. And then I discovered that cinnamon. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I cut my before, if I used to cut myself, it would take like ages to
Stop.
be and when I discovered that, I was reading about that. So I discovered that first beetroot was the best thing to cure this problem. So I started eating beetroot like there is no tomorrow. And then every time I would cut myself, I would put cinnamon, and in like straight away it would start the process of cicatrization, because the cinnamon, they have like this little agents that go inside of the wound, and they start to like accelerate, accelerating the process. And
Wow.
yeah,
I've
So
not
every-
heard of that. I didn't know that about cinnamon, but cayenne pepper is supposedly another one that if you've got bleeding, apply cayenne to a cut and it will stop bleeding. Also, if you've got any sort of internal bleeding, taking a teaspoon of cayenne in water, sort of repeat.
Yeah, no, I know that because I take cayenne pepper in my golden milk. I put a little bit of because of that. Because if I have any wound inside,
any heart problems, circulatory problems, bleeding problems, it's brilliant. Cayenne pepper.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, there is so much things that we have, and it's like this ancient knowledge that you are starting to look into it again, because you didn't know, and I don't know, I feel like there is a period in our timeline that it was all about let's not them know about nothing and just be like corporate all the way, cooperative all the way, thinking and in food and everything. And all of a sudden you are looking and you are seeing that, wait a minute, there is so much things out there natural that we could live by, instead of buying all this bullshit that they are trying to throw for our throats. I don't know. Yeah.
I think honestly, if everyone grew a garden, no matter how big or small it was, it puts you back in touch with seasons, Carla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what
the natural. It's
yeah.
the natural fucking way of things, mate. Do you know what I
Anthony
mean?
is saying this is why they have you believe witches were bad people. They were the opposite, making proper medicine and herbal remedies. Yeah, they had the true knowledge. Yeah, like Jane. Jane, she's working with the natural knowledge of the things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so now we have this ones. I found it. I look at them and I'm like, oh my god, they're so cute. They look like an umbrella, closed umbrella.
The glistening ink cap.
I think it's a glistening ink cap, non-edible.
Oh, this is non-edible.
But it does have cousins, right, that are edible. So the shaggy ink cap is edible, and the ink cap is edible, but only when they're like this. The non-edible, they'll start to go black, and they kind of drip like ink.
Yeah.
Do you know as they begin to decay? Yeah, they kind of drip.
Yeah.
That's if it is them.
But it does look.
Again, I'm no expert. It does look like them.
They do look amazing. If you where I walk the dog, sort of like at that time of the year where the shaggy ink caps are out. You'll be walking through the trees and you've got the sunlight, and it does look like all these mushrooms are just dripping. Just looks like there's like black ink dripping off them all.
Wow. Yeah, this picture shows a little bit like there's a black kind of thing going on.
Maybe, yeah. But yeah, there's just so many. I mean, that basket's got quite a few different ones. And it looks like there's a bolete there. They're difficult to identify.
Yeah. I'm gonna stop this sharing, and I'm gonna share the other one that I found while Darren was talking. So yeah.
But I just love to be out. I like to be out in garden.
These are the ones you were talking about, isn't it?
Yeah.
The big. Oh my god, this is big.
So these are this is the bolete family.
Wow.
Yeah, not all of them are edible, but some are. And yeah, they grow giant. But yeah, going back to it, Carla, that what you see there is like the apple off a tree.
Yeah.
Only you don't get to see the tree. It's all underground.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about. So mushrooms they're so specific, right? More specific than any other living thing. So the mycelium's there, but if it hasn't got the specific conditions it needs to fruit, it won't fruit. It needs specific conditions.
She looks like she's in a softwood plantation, young softwood plantation.
I'll tell you what, Darren, she looks like she's in mushroom heaven.
Yeah, she is. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, oh my god, she's just woo. What was it? This little whitey things that you were talking about, or is this mushrooms as well growing? This tiny white little things.
I'm not sure, Carl. It's hard to tell. But what you do is that will just pluck out of the ground. Look at that.
I look at this, and you know what it kind of reminds me bread.
Well, those are porcini, little porcinis.
Yeah, it kind of
beautiful.
Reminds me of bread.
Well, they're called penny buns, and that's what the nickname.
Yeah, porcini. Yeah.
Look at the size of that one. So yeah, we pick them kind of in grass near oak. And yeah, some years they're there, in abundance. Some years they're not there at all. Other years you find one or two, but it never really materializes, and that's kind of half a game. You know, finding a few different spots. But yeah, well, yeah. But the important thing, Carl, is getting out there.
Yeah, going out and look for the food that is out there for us to eat. Really, yeah.
Yeah, put the time in. Yeah, but I'm going to recommend a book if I can, Carla.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Food for Free.
Oh yeah, that's really.
And it's by the author's Richard Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great read.
It's a great beginner's book.
Great for beginners. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
look at those mushrooms there. There's some beauties.
Yeah. Look at this. This looks like the number 3 looks like from the sea.
Coral.
It's
Yeah.
called coral fungus.
Yeah. This the number 11 looks like a spaceship almost kind of building.
Yeah, that looks like a Chevy parasol, yeah.
Yeah.
And number 2.
Wait. Number 2, yeah.
Yeah, number 2 again. This one I'm yet to find, Carla. But it's on my list because this one, again, very expensive mushroom. That's a morel.
Oh.
Is there a proper picture of that? Like, that's because that's just a drawing, isn't it? Or
I tell you what, Darren, it's a good representation, though, mate.
what's it called, Scott?
Morel.
I've heard of that.
I'm yet to find one, mate, but I'd love to find one. But they're highly prized.
Oh, here is the one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's chicken of the woods.
So it tastes like chicken.
Right. So no, it doesn't taste like chicken. Right? No. It tastes like mushroom, right? But it's got the same consistency as chicken.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's like eating it, and you know when you slice it, it's like slicing a piece of meat.
I've definitely come across that.
There you go, mate. Look at that,
Definitely.
baby.
Please, Darren, if you come across this, keep them. Okay.
I will now.
Yeah, mate.
Oh wow, what is this?
That looks like a puff ball. I think most puff balls are edible, aren't they?
Once you chop them, as long as they're white inside.
Yeah, you've got to slice it open, and as long as it's pure white inside, like puff ball. Do you know, like a marshmallow man type thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think they're edible.
If you find the giant ones, you can use them as a pizza base.
Yeah, if you cut them thinly.
Oh.
Because there are giant ones in field.
Look at this table, man. I want to do this.
Wow.
I want to do this. Look at this.
That's a good day's foraging, is that, Carla?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do actually. Jane comes home with that most days, to be fair.
Really? Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know what, Jane? I'm going to go one day and I'm spending the weekend. Or no. We do better. You come my way. You stay here with me and you will take me to those places. Yeah. We will find new places. There is a lot of spaces here for the dogs to walk.
Oh, nice.
In the meantime, you will train my eyes.
Yeah, it's definitely not unusual, right, to come home to a load of plant life on the kitchen table.
Oh my God! But it's
plants dug up, all sorts of things that she needs to identify.
Yeah.
I've had to stop a little bit because my medicine cupboard just got too big. There was just litres of vodka in there that were different plants.
Oh, here we have a non-edible mushroom. Oh, I didn't know that this one wasn't edible. So
Well,
pretty.
again, right. So most of the books, Carla,
Mm.
that's a fly agaric. Everybody knows that mushroom, yeah.
Mm.
They are classed as poisonous, but if you prepare them in a particular way, they
Yeah.
can be hallucinogenic.
Ah, okay. Oh, look, this one that we were seeing.
Coral fungus, yeah,
Yeah.
amazing.
It's classified as well as non-edible.
Yeah, these
Oh,
are
this
beliefs.
one, the Pseudocomelus Christianantarantaran. I will invent a new name for them. Don't
Carla, and
worry
let me
about
tell you something, right? Do you know, even in the mushroom world, right, these mushrooms are changing all the time. They're changing, from a different this and a different that, and they get reclassified all the time. It's impossible. You'd never learn it in a lifetime. So learn a few
Yeah.
edibles that you're willing to pick, and you're willing to cook. It's like a bit of a challenge to identify it in wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, to take it home and fully identify it, and then to prepare it, cook it, and eat it, and then
And to wake up the next day is a real bonus, without.
yeah.
Oh,
come on, Jane, don't do that to me.
well, because some of the mushrooms, even though they're classed as edible, they're not good for everybody. So they always say to try those individually, maybe on yourself, before serving to everybody else. So I tend to make mushroom soup with them, eat it myself, and when I'm still good the next day, I then offer it out.
Oh, that's a good advice.
But it is a buzz waking up the next day thinking, yeah, I've survived that. And it was nice.
Scott, is she been testing on you?
Listen, welcome to my world. That's cooking in my house.
I wouldn't go to sleep tonight. I would be
Your
like,
life's in danger.
what? Who are you?
Right, that picture there, Carla.
Yeah.
If you can
So
learn
this
those
one, the first one is the one that you are looking for, isn't it?
if you could learn just those few mushrooms, right, you'd be quids in, because they're all edible and they're all really tasty. So you've got the morel, the one that looks like a brain, yeah. You've got the penny bun.
This one.
The yellow one in the corner is a chanterelle.
Okay. Oh, I've eaten this one. It's really good.
They're beautiful. The one at the bottom middle, those are oysters.
Ah, those are the oysters.
Those are and oyster mushrooms. You can have a go at growing those at home.
Really?
Yeah. They do little
How?
kits that you can try. They do little kits that you can grow it at home. Not all mushrooms. Mushrooms don't really grow at home. Not all. Some do, but others are not replicatable.
Oh. Yeah,
That's why, Carla. Restaurants pay good money for this type of stuff.
Oh.
And the other one in the other corner, I'm not sure what that is. It looks like some sort of, what would you say, Jane? Maybe I don't know.
What you mean? This one? This is the porcini, isn't it?
No, yeah, that's a porcini. The one in the bottom right, I'm not sure what that one is actually.
Oh, this one. The
yeah, I'm not sure what that is. Yeah,
is it a trumpet?
I don't think it is a trumpet, no. That trumpet, no, I don't think it is. But yeah, those 5, if you could learn those 5, and they're fairly easy to find, and they're fairly abundant at the right time of year with the right conditions. And all fantastic to eat.
Oh, I love this one. It's my favorite.
You can grow those at home.
Yeah. Oh, here you have them, the brain ones.
Yeah, those are morels. Those are beautiful specimens. Then.
Yeah.
I'd love to find one.
Another good picture. Yeah.
Some more chanterelles.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
have the honey mushroom, giant puffball,
Yeah.
arborative, entoloma.
The honey mushroom is one of those that can make people sick, even though it's listed as edible.
Mm.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if
It says to try it out first. You know,
Yeah.
don't eat a lot of it. Try maybe
one or two mushrooms.
one or two
Mm.
before you eat a big batch of the honey mushroom.
I think chicken of the woods is the same as well.
Oh, I think that one that we were seeing in the picture before is the lobster mushroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me.
Nice. Yeah, it's an amazing world.
Yeah,
Look,
this
and
one
me
here.
and Jane are only really at the very start of it.
Yeah.
We basically know nothing about mushrooms. We know these 3 or 4, 5 or 6 maybe. Yeah, we know others, but we don't particularly eat them.
Mm.
It's nice to know what they are.
Yeah.
But it's nice to know the ones that you can pick, and it's nice to know what grows with what. So if you see one type of mushroom, you know that you're going to see another type.
Yeah. And why is it the mushroom you know, I look at them and I'm just like, why is this how the way that it grows
Mhm.
and the way that it does so many things and there is so many variety, you know,
It's
it kind of makes you think like, what the hell? Why is this even here?
I know. I think there's a lot of different talk about mushrooms as to what on
Hmm.
earth they are. Are they? They're not plants. They're not human. They're not.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
don't
it.
know. They're weird, aren't they?
Yeah, but
They're
at
Yeah,
the
amazing.
I
same
think
time,
there was
fantastic. They are weird, but at the same time, fantastic. Because
absolutely.
like I look at them and I'm just like, wow, so many shapes, so many formats, you know. Like
Yeah,
this one here, it looks like a pine cone, you
yeah.
know, with all um uh the way that, you know, and this here, it looks like a little community of mushrooms. It's just like amazing to look at them
Yeah.
and be like, what the hell is this?
And then you get the, I don't know if they're called cordyceps, like they almost take over the host, control the host, and then kill the host.
You
What?
get
Yeah,
there's a fungus, right? It's called a cordyceps
I can't
fungus,
remember if
right?
it is a
And
cordyceps.
it's part of the family cordyceps, I think.
Huh.
But it basically infects, say, an ant, and it takes over the ant's mind, and it forces the ant higher and higher and higher up whatever branch or whatever, and it gets to a certain point, the ant stops, and then the fungus just grows out of the ant and releases its spores nice and high.
What?
Oh, mate, yeah.
And supposedly this fungus can affect certain crops, and it's been known apparently throughout history that people have all eaten from these crops, and it's sent villages mad and stuff.
Wow.
I honestly, right, fungus, it looks like it's the end of life, but it's the fucking beginning of life, is fungus. When you see
Mhm.
fungus, you know that everything's healthy.
Yeah. True.
Right? It's the connecting block underground, under the soil. It feeds on certain things, and that brings in other bacteria. Fungus is it's not a bacteria, man. It's more than that.
Yeah, it's weird to put it into words because there is you can't really like define, you know,
Mm.
or even if you try, there is something still missing because it's like they are look at this purple ones. What the
No,
hell?
those look like amethyst deceivers, and those
And
are actually edible.
yeah, and look at the black one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
all spectrums of colors they have, you know.
and do you know what, Carl? Do you know even within their own? So, for instance, take a penny bun or a morel, any of them. Not one is the same as the next, and they can look
Yeah.
completely different. Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit like our species.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And these things, Carl, and not just mushrooms, but even in the urban areas, right? Even in the urban areas, there is resources to be utilised.
Yeah. Yeah, the more I look, the more I'm
Those
like,
are elf
what?
cups.
What?
Those are called elf cups.
Scarlet.
Scarlet elf cups.
Yeah, it looks like a cup.
Cute, aren't
Yeah. And look at this. It looks like little eggs.
they? Yeah, those look like ink caps, possibly.
Mhm.
Yeah. And there's a few kind of herbal mushrooms as well. So reishi is famous for being kind of a herbal type mushroom.
Mhm.
There's another one called turkey tail, which Jane collects.
Yeah.
That's got herbal kind of remedies. Do you know powers in it that's good for the
Uh-huh.
body? Yeah, there's a few. Shagger. Have you heard of shagger?
Shagger. No.
Yeah, shagger. I think it's called shagger. It's a fungus.
Huh?
But yeah, very, very good for you. Tons of goodness in it, and it doesn't appear anywhere else other than in that mushroom, in that fungus. But
Quite
they all
interesting.
share, Carla. They all share a
Mhm.
symbiotic relationship. Yeah, so they'll feed on the roots of something else.
Mhm.
Yeah, so looking out for certain trees, oak, birch. Yeah,
Yeah.
looking out for those particular trees. There's tons of mushrooms. You'll find other mushrooms elsewhere, but there's tons of mushrooms amongst trees. Out in the fields, you'll find mushrooms.
Yeah. It's this one.
Shagger, yeah, shagger.
Huh?
Highly
Oh,
prized.
this one looks nasty.
When you
Doesn't
cut
it,
it
Sarah?
open, Carla, when you cut that open, right, it's bright orange.
Really?
Yeah,
And what would you do with that? Put it in a tea or something?
it's like a medicine. Yeah, they use it for a medicine.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Good for all sorts of things.
Yeah, this one looks a little bit nasty.
Yeah, shagger. That's
Oh,
it.
we have the cordyceps, reishi,
Cordyceps. They're the ones
lion
called.
mane. Oh, shagger. Oh, this looks like poop.
What's that one? That bottom left,
Which one?
the shagger.
Shagger.
That's
Yeah,
found on dead ash branch, isn't it?
Yeah, mate.
yeah,
What
it
else
looks
they
like
call
poop.
that?
I'm not sure. There will be a Latin name, I'm sure, Darren.
It's a real hard, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, rock hard.
What's that used for? Because I come across that all the time.
Wow, it's quite expensive
Really?
stuff, that, mate.
There you are. I come across that.
You see, Scott, Darren, you've been throwing amounts of faith and belief.
I've lost loads of faith and belief now, haven't I?
Darren, you could be doubling. You could be doubling your log.
Since you started. Yeah.
Yeah,
Imagine.
that one, that shagger. see that all the time. Sometimes on a, we'd see that every month on Summit or other. See that all the time.
There you go, mate.
Yeah.
All around us. And it grows
Pay
there whether we see it
attention.
or
Pay
not.
attention now.
I even get stuff grow if I've had beech logs in the yard. It'll start growing on them.
Yeah, beech is another one, Darren, for
Yeah.
mushrooms. Yeah, absolutely. Beech is good.
Wait, this is where the this mushroom grows?
Yeah, high up.
Oh, I would not recognize this as a mushroom. I would think
Yeah,
that the tree's having some sort of problem.
Yeah, that's a burr on the tree, isn't it?
I would say she's got a nasty pimple.
Well, a lot of people do mistake burrs for shagger.
All right.
But yeah, no, that is shagger. That's exactly how it looks on a tree.
Christ, come across that loads of times as well.
God, you see, Darren, pay attention.
That
It's not
Darren,
pimple, Darren.
if you took that, Darren, and processed it, yeah, it'd probably be worth as much as the log that it's on.
Yeah. Bloody hell.
Wow. Look,
Yeah, orange.
this looks like a rock. What the hell? This is a weird one, yeah?
Yeah, it's more of a fungus than a mushroom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Wow.
yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, but then the outside, it kind of imitates the wood, is it?
So it's like burnt wood, isn't it?
Yeah, it kind of looks like
Like
it.
charcoal, burnt charcoal and wood.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's highly prized, is that stuff.
Mm.
If you can come across it. Yeah, a lot of people think they found it, but it's not really. It's a burr. But yeah, if you can come across it, it's yeah.
Yeah, here it is again. Yeah, very weird. Yeah.
They grow in the most mysterious places, mushrooms. I even find them in Lidl car park.
In a car park?
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah, if
look
you
at
know-
this one. Beautiful.
It's like a cauliflower mushroom, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It's-
really brilliant. Oh, here, Darren, you can learn how to remove him. Extraction, water, ethanol, ultrasonic microwave assisted extraction, etc. Oh, what is this? Oh, his name is Inonotus obliquus, shagger mushroom.
Okay.
I got quite a lot of ash trees to take down that dead in a quite a mature wood. There'd be tons of that in there.
Yeah, maybe.
Man, you're going to be a billionaire just in shagger. Start selling your shagger. It kind of reminds me of a music. What was no? Yeah, I'm not gonna say it is. It's a little bit nasty. Look at this.
Shagger, yeah.
Yeah, the
That's
king of
horrible.
mushrooms. Darren, this is gold, Darren. Look.
You know what, Carla? That's how we see mushrooms. It's like gold. Do you know what? It's like a little treasure hunt, Carla.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, do you know when we go out, right, and we decide, right, it's the time of year we're going to go find this particular mushroom, and it's very rare you go and find it, but when you do, it's like just the perfect day.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, looks like a bit of
Look
burnt
at
tree, doesn't it?
this. This is weird, huh? This is really weird. This is it. I'm looking at this picture and I'm like, no, this is not from this planet. This is alien, completely alien. This cannot be. Look at this.
Where's that one?
Shagger.
Yeah, this is shagga. Harvesting shagga and how.
Oh, I'd love to find that.
Yeah, we've never found it.
You never found it?
No, we've never
And I
found
look
it.
really hard.
Yeah,
as
well,
well.
yeah, absolutely, we do.
Because it's Darren. Darren is the one who's gonna find it.
I'll send you some up, Scott.
Oh, cheers, mate.
And it's finding at a height where you can recover it as well. So I have found it, but not at a height that it's recoverable.
Big chainsaw.
Get your ladder.
If you find it, Jane, I'll get it at ground height for you.
Bless you, Darren.
Actually, Scott can now. He's got a saw, hasn't he?
With one sweep.
Yeah.
You're taking the saw out now when you're foraging.
You didn't give him a lesson, though, did you?
Oh no.
No. I'll have to make a video.
There's a tree in my front garden you can practice on.
Right. Only powder and boil up with similar fertilization.
There we go, shagga. There's tons of mushrooms. Again, do you know what, Cara?
Yeah.
Have a look at the mushrooms. Have a look at the benefits. What's your angle? Where are you coming at it from? Are you looking for mushrooms just from a herbal point of view? Yeah, or are you looking for an medicinal or edible, or do you just want to learn about mushrooms? And then once you've decided, you can go and learn about that.
Yeah, well, I think that my first point with them is a survival thing. If everything goes bust, if I can identify mushrooms, I think they are the survivors. They are like cockroaches. They are everywhere, and yeah, that's where I'm coming from. Like, yeah, imagine that you don't have anything to eat, and even like if you know where to find these and what are the ones to eat, or if anyone has any injury, and you can go like to the forest and grab some herbs and do some kind of thing. That's where I'm coming from.
Saying that's where we're coming from. We don't want to be dependent on the supermarket.
Yeah.
Well, most of that then can be covered at home.
Yeah.
In a garden.
And
if there's a few of you in a fairly local area, you will all, just because you all like different things, you will all grow different things, and therefore you can share different things. So you expand it. As I said, you will never really grow enough unless you've got enough land, and not everybody has.
Yeah.
So it's about growing what you can and trying to build cooperatives, local cooperatives, taking over bits of land and turning it back into growing land.
There was a garden project we went to visit in Leeds. I think there's a website for it, and I think if I'm right, it was called Bedford Fields. And it was like a community garden that they'd set up on a bit of wasteland. And I think one guy had sort of one person was taking leadership of it and sort of spending quite a lot of time there. And people in the community were free to go and help themselves to whatever was there, but all they asked was that if you went and took stuff from the garden, you would put a couple of hours back into the garden, just whether it be weeding or anything that you could do, really. And it was an amazing little place. The garden was absolutely glorious, and while we were there visiting, there were all sorts of people just sort of coming in and saying hello and picking like all the herbs and spices that they needed for the tea. And yeah, it was brilliant.
Yeah. What type of tree is this one, Darren?
I think it's a poplar. It looked a bit cherryish, but it looks more like a poplar. Yeah. Well, yeah, I thought cherry to begin with, and then the bottom bit looks more like poplar.
Yeah.
And this is the shagga coming through.
Yeah, you will see that. I'm pretty sure I've seen that on cherry.
Yeah, I think it grows on a few different types.
I thought shagga only grew on silver birch.
Is it birch?
I think, as
That's
far
not
as I know,
birch.
it only grows on silver birch, does chaga.
Oh,
Oh.
chucking that in now. That's not a birch.
Unless it is
No,
a birch.
no.
I haven't got my glasses on, but birches are darker at the bottom, aren't they?
Well, yeah, the bark gets
The
a lot
bark's
thinner, doesn't it?
completely different at the bottom to
Yeah,
it.
look
Yeah.
at this. Look at
It's
this.
true.
That's
This is-
cherry. That's cherry.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
That is cherry.
And
But
what
it
ones?
looks like it came from the inside and now is.
Yeah, like what was it? Alien.
This is like a horror movie. I'm
It's awesome
looking at
stuff,
it
isn't it?
Wow.
and I'm like, this is like, wow. It
Carla-
kind of reminds me when Lucy, you know, in the movie Lucy, she
Yeah.
became all that black goo.
Yeah.
If you
I'm
look
watching
at
too
the
much.
corn, they're a bit weird.
Yeah, there's some amazing. So let's look up a few weird ones, interesting ones. So there's a stinkhorn.
Stinkhorn.
Yeah, a
Wait.
stinkhorn. What else have we got? Devil's fingers, witch's fingers.
Witch's fingers.
Yeah. Just type in unusual mushroom.
Oh my god! No, this is alien.
Oh,
What the hell is this?
There's some amazing.
Amazing.
Wow.
Oh no, you know what? If I find this one, I will be running home because my imagination would be running wild. I would be like, uh-oh, no, not gonna happen. And look at this.
Yeah, that's called a stinkhorn.
No, I would call it something.
Yeah, I know what you call it.
I'm gonna find some amazing names for
Oh,
this
yeah.
guy.
That's a veiled stinkhorn. Look at that. Look how
Look at
intricate.
this!
They're so amazing.
And this looks like what is the claw of cancer?
Yeah, like a crab's claw.
Yeah. Wow. Oh dear Lord, no, I can't deal with this.
Yeah, amazing.
This is definitely, or maybe the alien movies, they all got inspired in these mushrooms. Oh, this
It's
is
already here, isn't it, Carl? Everything's already here.
yeah. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's some truly amazing specimens, Carla. And the list is just absolutely immense.
Oh my God. Oh no, let's go back to the nice ones, please.
Again, look, these types of mushrooms are amazing. Everybody wants to see them because they're like show mushrooms, but they're no good if you want to eat anything.
No, they are not for eat. I wouldn't eat this.
No.
Even if I was really desperate, no. Mm-mm.
That's what I've
God
not eaten.
dang it. No, okay, say something else because I don't like these ones. I'm gonna have nightmares.
Well, let's type in wood bluets because wood bluets grow quite abundantly everywhere. Wood bluets
Wood?
are beautiful. Wood bluet, as in BLE.
Bluet. Okay. Okay. Yes.
So yeah, people can find these. These are quite abundant. They grow everywhere.
Oh yeah, this is. Oh yes, yes, pink. Yes, yes. Yes, this is more me.
Yeah, these would make actually, do you know, like a good replacement for a breakfast mushroom.
Mm.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? But yeah,
Yeah.
so really good and meaty mushroom and quite tasty. Wood bluet and is the other one a field bluet? Yeah, field blue. It's growing grass.
Look at this.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, the other mushrooms, they're the show ponies.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? And they're great to look at and see, but you don't see them. They're very rare to see. But these you'll see all the time, and you can pick these and eat them.
Yeah. Yeah. This.
And there's another one called shaggy ink cap. Again, quite abundant that people can just pick and eat.
Shaggy ink cap.
Ink cap, yeah.
No. Shaggy ink cap.
We pick a few different types and dry them out, powder them, put them in a jar, all mixed up, and then put them in all sorts.
Mm. Oh, these ones are not that many. Which one? Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, can you see it there melting? Far
Yeah,
right.
I can see. Yeah.
They kind of like melt. That's why they're called ink caps.
Ah.
But again, these particular ones, the picture here at the bottom left, where
Yeah.
the white, can you see the pure white ones?
Yeah. This one.
Yeah, so when they're pure white like that, that's when they're edible.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah, so that big picture there on the right, if you see them like that, they're edible.
And you can maybe bring them home and batter them, and they're almost like little chicken drumsticks almost.
Yeah, like battered mushrooms.
Yeah, they're very nice anyway.
But yeah, once the top in the top left, yeah, that's you don't eat that.
This one, no.
Yeah, once they're not pure white, leave them alone.
Once they're black, anyway, dark on the inside, just leave them.
Oh, when they are like this.
They're perfect specimens to eat when they're like that on the right.
Hmm. Oh, they become really nasty and ugly.
Yeah.
No, but they do look amazing. Like I say, when you see them sort of like through the trees with the sunlight, they do look amazing.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, again, edible. When that tiny white, they're edible in that state, and are really quite a nice mushroom to eat.
Yeah. This looks like Morticia Adams' toy.
Yeah. That is don't look very inviting to me, that does it?
Okay, and we are on our 2-hour podcast time. I think we had a good one, and we see a lot of good stuff here. So I'm going to wrap this one up, guys. And I would say that if Darren wants to come next week and explain us a little bit about what he knows, which is the trees and everything, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can try and get a few videos of stuff this week.
Yeah. And even in a perspective that imagine that people want to start building like a shed or something, or even a house.
Wood. Yeah.
So we have a date then.
Yep.
And after that, no, after that I can't because I'm not going to be here. So, but when I return, I would love to have Jane again with us. What do you say, Jane?
Okay.
Yay! So you have all this time to prepare and to bring us all your lovely knowledge. And yeah, we have a lot of dates. Okay, Scott, is there anything you want to add to wrap this one up?
Just get out there.
Yeah.
Get out there. Don't stay safe. Live on the edge and enjoy life to the fucking fullest.
Yes. And you, Darren?
Carla, can I ask you
Same.
that?
I think it's the sort of thing the kids would love that. They love going out looking for stuff because it's like a treasure hunt, isn't it?
All
Yeah.
kids do, mate.
And the most important bit to this is don't stick to the path.
All the fucking rules.
Do not stick to the path.
Oh God, no.
Wander off path. Wander off path. See if you can find any mushrooms.
You meet the best people in bushes.
Yeah, that's Scott. I don't know what she's saying with that one.
Yeah.
But I leave that to you.
Listen, I'll let her tell you that next time. But honestly, some of the tales that she tells me that when she comes home from just a plain old dog walk, right?
Yeah.
Scott, you'll never believe what's happened today. What's that, my love? Well, an old man popped out of a fucking bush or a tree or whatever. Perfectly innocent, but very strange, right? Honestly. But it happens a lot, Carla. So what does that tell you?
Oh my God.
I know.
Yeah, right. That's for another time.
Yeah. Okay. We will. You know what, Jane? I'm gonna have you here, and you can tell us all those amazing stories. I bet you have the best ones to tell. So, guys, this is all for today. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you guys had a blast. I certainly had one. I love this. I love learning. And when we are in good company is even better. So that's it. See you all next Monday. Bye bye. So long. Farewell. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye.